guys, today we have another book haul. I have several packages from Amazon and Book Outlet that I'm excited to share with you guys, plus a few books that we were given over the past month or two that I wanted to share with you as well. So let's get started. First up, let's check out some of our Amazon favorites that we got recently. I ordered this book, Tactics, based on my friend Amy over at Humility and Doxology's recommendations. We were having an awesome discussion within the Made to Homeschool community, which is my community and Amy's community and several other contributors' communities, where we just come and we hang out as homeschooling moms. And she was sharing about how she had her teens all read this Tactics book. It's giving you advice, practical advice for sharing your faith and being able to share your convictions with others. So of course I went out and grabbed it because anything Amy loves, I tend to like as well. So we are going to be reading this with my teens. Also, in a previous book haul, I had gotten C.S. Lewis's Out of the Silent Planet. It is a fiction book that he wrote that is actually sci-fi based, and I had said in that book haul that I did not realize that was something that he actually wrote, that he had ever done sci-fi. My kids read it, all three of my teens, and they loved it, so I went ahead and ordered book 2 and 3 from the series. Book 1 is quite small. I don't have it up here right now, but it's kind of a smaller novel, but they definitely get bigger as they go, and I've heard the third one is a favorite. So we've got Perilandra and That Hideous Strength. So I will let you guys know what they think about these, and you can always follow me on Instagram to find out more as well about the book picks, but this is a series they're excited to finish. We also ordered a couple of new books for my kids' curriculum. All three of my teens do Redefining School curriculum. It is a literature-based course where your children will explore literature and some writing elements as well. They do it independently most of the time, and then they meet together for live classes. And so for my teens, they are actually going to be going through, or are currently going through, you can see the bookmark here, for The Magician's Nephew. And then for my daughter, she is doing the literature circle for The Green Ember. So we went ahead and purchased copies of these. Yes, we actually have copies of these on audiobook already, but my goal when they go through these literature classes is to buy them their own physical copy. My goal is I want to leave my kids with an awesome library of really quality books when they leave our home. So these are their own copies. We got 2 of The Magician's Nephews, 1 for each of my sons, and then The Green Embers for my daughter. I was recently introduced to a new author, Sahara Coral, and she actually has a whole series of picture books for ocean animals and ocean creatures. So we have got Dolphins of the Pacific Blue, The Journey of the Gentle Giant Turtle, The Blue Whale Song, and Orcas, the Guardians of the Deep. Each book in this series follows a similar format, so it has these amazing pictures in here going through the different animals, and then all of the words in here is more of like a poem or a song almost, but rhyming, that tells you a little bit more about that specific creature and tells you what you can do to help protect those creatures in our oceans. My kids are really enjoying these right now. We got these a couple of weeks ago and we have been reading through them. There are sort of 2 different sets, so there is the dolphin one and the whale one, which illustrations gear just a little bit younger and the text is a little bit bigger. And then there's the Orcas, Guardians of the Deep, and the sea turtle one. Both of these are geared just a little bit older. They just have a little bit smaller text to them and a different kind of graphic. Also, that author was sweet enough to send me 2 of her other books. I have not dove into these yet, but this is Brewed for Balance, Tea as a Wellness Practice. Apparently, she is a big proponent not only of ocean creatures, but loves tea and poetry. And then this is her tea time under the Hyperion tree. So this is a little story. It's kind of written in little chapters. There's quite a bit of text in here. And these are just fun stories that you can enjoy reading while you do your own tea time, or just something to include in your home. A few books that we were given recently is this really fun My First Book of Bible Promises. We recently experienced a loss in our family and the passing of a dear family member, and so one of my daughters was really having a very hard time with it, and so our pastor gave her this book and she's been reading through it. Oh, I don't want to lose her place in it. She's been reading through it. It goes through different promises of God, like God cares. And it gives you different Bible memory verses that you can memorize or just read for that, and then a little explanation of those promises. She has been poring over this, and she says she wants to memorize all of the promises about God, but you can just see it's short, easy passages for them to be able to do. So you could use this as a reference book in your home. If there's maybe something they're struggling with, you can find a promise that would help assure them and help remind them of God's truth, or they could read through it as they go and just learn more about God and his promises. Another group of books that we recently received, my teens and I got the honor to attend the Midwest Bible Conference in Kansas City, and we got to hear from several speakers, including Guy Richard. He actually has written 3 different books that we were given as attendees of this conference, and it was really fun because I went with myself and my 3 teens, and we were each given our own set of 3 books. So he has a book on baptism, answers to common questions. He has one on what is faith. These are great little like booklets. There's a lot in this series that go through and answer just common questions in an easy to read format. And then this book, Persistent Prayer, is actually one I listened to on audio last year, and it is phenomenal. It's probably one of my favorite books written on prayer. And then this is also part of a series written by several different authors tackling difficult topics. And this is an amazing series. I would highly, highly recommend it. It's called the Blessings of the Faith series, and I will link all of those down below. Now for our Book Outlet books. If you guys are not familiar, Book Outlet is a company that sells brand new, not used, books that you can purchase at discounted prices. Everything is guaranteed to be at least 50% off. So I have started just a little bit to get some of the books that we'll need for next year for history. So that's what a lot of these books are, and then there'll be many more to come, I'm sure, but I just kind of was diving into some of the things they had. We're going to be looking at a lot of William Shakespeare. So this is William Shakespeare and the Globe. This book is the story of William Shakespeare, and it's written like one of his plays. So you've got Act 1, Scene 2, and so on and so forth. It's got fun pictures and timelines, and it goes through his different works that he created. So this will be a really great one for me to read alongside my younger kids to kind of give them some framework as we learn about Shakespeare, and even for my older kids to listen into, because sometimes having these picture book formats is actually what it takes to have some of these bigger concepts click. Next up, this was recommended for their history reading as well for my teens. This is The Arabian Nights. This is written by the same series that writes several of the other books that my kids have been reading this year, and they have really been enjoying those. So I'm excited for them to dive into that. And I love the fact they're nice hardback books. And along those lines with that medieval history, we have the Canterbury Tales book. We have some Shakespeare as we go through Macbeth, which is actually a play that I went through as a younger kid and actually really enjoyed. We got to act it out. So I'm hoping to do something similar with my kids, even if it's not acting out as a full play, but just reading through it dramatically. I think that'll be fun. We've got Adam of the Road. I don't know as much about this one, but it says that Adam is an 11-year-old boy who likes to travel with his father. He likes to travel with his father and his dog named Nick. But one day, Nick is stolen and his father disappears. And in a desperation to find them, he starts traveling these roads and meeting all of these different characters and all these different people. And he's trying to figure out how he's going to find his way back to his dog and his dad. At least that's what the back says. So if you guys know anything about this, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Another book recommendation for our history for my younger ones was Once a Mouse. It says, a hermit knows the magic to change a mouse into a cat, a dog, and a majestic tiger. This is actually an Indian fable, so this will be a really good one to go through with my kids as we're learning about this in history, and it's actually easy enough to read that I think they can actually read it themselves, which will be great. Oh my goodness, this is so much bigger than I thought it would be. My kids absolutely love graphic novels. They've gotten really into them, especially my teens have enjoyed reading many of the classics in graphic novel version. And so when I saw they had Beowulf in a graphic novel, I had to grab it. You can see these pictures are huge. I don't even know if I can hold this upright for you guys, but it goes through and tells the traditional classic story of Beowulf, but in graphic novel format. Let me know down in the comments if your teens like to read graphic novels, especially the classics, and which ones they have tried and loved. And if you want to see more book hauls and fun books that we've found over the years, be sure to check out this playlist right here.